Dr Nandipha Magudumana has suffered yet another legal blow as the Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed her application to nullify her arrest in Tanzania. Magudumana approached the Supreme Court of Appeal to reverse the decision of the Free State High Court, which also dismissed her application to nullify her arrest on the basis that she had consented to be brought back to the country. Magudumana is one of the accused who are facing charges of aiding and abetting convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester, who escaped from the Mangaung prison in May 2022. And for some analysis now on this, we are now joined by legal analyst Nthabiseng Dubazana, and she joins us now via our video link. Nthabiseng, thank you so much for your time here in SABC News. I mean, let's start off here. What is your reaction to that ruling from the Supreme Court of Appeal today on Nandipha Magudumana?
Good evening and thanks for having me. Not really surprised, really, considering the ruling that happened in the Free State. The main issue was that of consent. Remember, part of the reasons that she made this application was that if indeed she was to be declared, the arrest, I beg your pardon, was to be declared unlawful, it would effectively mean that her detention is unlawful and therefore the prosecution also is unlawful and therefore should be released. So, when we go back in time, we see the reasons why it is that it was denied the last time. And as such, here we are, and she's been denied yet again. It means the Supreme Court of Appeal is in agreement with the lower court, i.e. the Free State High Court, and therefore, unfortunately for her, she now has to face the charges that she's facing with her co-accused. And
Nthabiseng, why would she even take this legal route in the first place, considering that the lower courts denied her this legal challenge?
Well, perhaps per counsel from her legal representatives, perhaps they believe that a different court may reach a different conclusion. Remember, even though we all do law, we also interpret it differently. But also it could be by virtue of instructions that the attorneys would have advised her to say, listen, you're not going to be able to succeed, but she still wants to try. It is her right to try. So that could be a reason to see if she can fight it to the best of her ability in order for her not to face these charges. Because I think the highest sentence she might be looking at would be one for life or 15 years imprisonment at most for what she has done thus far. So yeah, I think she wanted to see if she has a chance at least to not face the charges that she's dealing with.
And she's said to now go on trial later this year for her implications in the Thabo Bester matter. And one would ask, what are the implications then following this legal route and going into the trial? How will it affect her trial going forward?
Well, it really won't, because this was what we call an interlocutory proceeding. So it is a proceeding within a proceeding, so to speak. So the aim here was to determine whether or not the arrest was lawful. Let's say the SCA had overturned the Free State, the High Court from the Free State's decision and said that her arrest was indeed unlawful, i.e. when she was brought from Tanzania to here, it was illegal. Therefore, all the charges would fall away because everything stems from an illegal arrest. Therefore, she'd be at home, warm, nothing would be happening to her. So now that we are here, we just need to determine whether her arrest was lawful or not. And the SCA has confirmed it was lawful. So now we're only going to focus strictly on the criminal charge. This really has no bearing on the trial that's coming. It would have only had a bearing if it was found that her arrest or her extradition was illegal.
And are there any other legal routes she can take, like you said a bit earlier on, mentioning, the type of sentence she may face, going forward into that legal matter when it comes to, the other avenues, which are available for her? Is this the final route for Nandipha Magudumana?
Well, the final route would be taken to the Constitutional Court, see if the court would be on her side in one form or another. And if she's successful there, then great, she's released, she goes home. But I don't know if it would be worth her while to take it all the way to the Constitutional Court. I do not see what would be the reasons that the court would be in disagreement with the SCA and the Free State High Court. Yes, I note that there's a dissenting judgment that says that based on certain things, she could not have given her consent and therefore her appeal should have been upheld. But I don't believe those grounds are sufficient enough for her to rely on when she makes her application to the High Court, to the Constitutional Court.
And going forward, in terms of your expectations of this trial, which is now set to get underway later this year, what are your expectations when it comes to her legal challenge in court?
Well, we hope that she doesn't delay proceedings any more than she has so far. But I do have a feeling that as the proceedings go on, we're going to be dealing with things like trials within a trial. We are not privy, unfortunately, to what the docket has. Perhaps there's confession statements in there and stuff like that, and she's going to challenge them and say, I did not confess to this, or I did not admit to whatever, which leads to more proceedings and more reasons for the court to go into other interlocutory proceedings versus the main trial. But we'll see as the docket is now revealed bit by bit and we go forward, what it is that she or her legal representatives will end up doing as the trial proceeds.
All right, Nthabiseng, thank you so much for your time and for that insight. That's Nthabiseng Dubazana. She is a legal analyst, just giving us her expertise when it comes to analyzing that ruling by the Supreme Court of Appeal. Of course, they're not declaring the extradition of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana as illegal.